Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's our latest episode of Moviecast. On today's episode, there's a couple of changes. I'm going to try some actual video editing, seeing as we've now moved to three cameras, a whole three cameras. So lots of angles to play with, so I might actually try sitting down and editing this properly. And yeah, we picked, one of our party picked a movie for us to watch. Not sure how popular a choice it was, but we'll find out when we listen to the rest of the podcast. So here we go. This is Cookiecast Moviecast 4, I believe. So check this out. Okay, press the buttons. So all of the lights should be flashing, which they are, like the other day. And that's recording, the lines going up and down. It's podcast time, let's do this. Gonna give it one on them. In theory, don't even ask me. In theory, everything's working. I'll get a water because I'm really warm. Shocker.
I was looking at those two jerseys you wear. You wearing
wearing one jersey, t-shirt underneath.
Yeah, a pretty thick t-shirt, also. That's like a thick collar.
It's just a t-shirt. It's a
anime.
Kill Bill, actually.
So it could be anime.
It has an anime section.
Does actually have animated part of that film.
Animated by Project IG.
I've only ever seen the first one. I've never seen the second
the animated bit was
apparently,
the first one.
The animated bit wasn't the first one.
Apparently, my brother went to go see it at the cinema and thought it was quite funny when people walked out the cinema saying, "Well, that finished halfway through, didn't it?" I was going,
Kill Bill Part 1? Don't know about that.
I was never much keen on the second part, to be honest.
No.
I thought the first one was great. The second one just felt a bit overlong.
I knew how it was going to end right at the beginning of the first one.
I feel like we've managed to digress already. But
no, but what I was about to say was,
quite interesting.
Speaking of movies, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on our, what might, if we're lucky, be a three-angled, one audio, four guys.
Am I even on this one?
I mean,
that's probably the best.
Are we just missing two cups?
that's got a four guys, one cup.
We're just missing two cups, aren't we? What was
you have the finest mug there. Show it to the camera.
Colour changing, ejaculating penis mug, everyone?
I have
Panas?
some sort of weird, not in the slightest bit terrifying girl
I said Alice in Wonderland mug, I think.
on my cup.
I don't believe it was mine. I think I inherited it from somewhere.
He inherited it from the Shotty box.
Christ, that's piping up.
Speaking of movies, we are here on yet another exciting instalment of Moviecast.
And what a movie to be discussing today.
One of Paul's, and only Paul's favourites.
You're all heathens, you should be stoned to death.
No.
I mean,
So what have we been watching?
it is the only time Paul's ever stayed.
No.
It's the only time Paul's ever stayed awake through a movie.
Oh shit!
He did stay awake, so
He did.
we're already off to a flyer. So let's talk about the history of why we watched the film we watched. Panas.
What?
Why don't you take us through the history of why we watched the film we watched?
I don't know, because I said, let's watch this, and everyone went, no.
What?
Let's watch this.
Whoa. That's a very different story to what I've just done.
So like any good woman, he's decided to change history.
I was very clear, I would rather watch the film we planned to watch, as opposed to this film.
We didn't plan to watch anything.
We
So-
did. There was always a plan.
So let's do some background.
Drop it from there.
So where have you boys been today?
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
We don't talk about what we're going to do. In fact, we ignore the lion that is on my left breast.
Left.
Stage right.
It is my right.
No, it's your left.
It's stage right.
No, but it's my right breast on the camera. as the camera's looking at me, that's my right side.
I suppose. But it is your left side.
That's right, stage right.
So the emblem here is of Middlesbrough Football Club.
You realise if we think this was a sporting event, you're going to have to put this out a bit earlier than planned.
Well, no, because it doesn't change the result.
Oh, okay.
People will be aware of the fact that the result is now in the bag. It doesn't matter, if he releases it in 2 months' time, Forest will still have beaten Middlesbrough 2-0 today.
Wait, what happened today?
Should be cock.
Who do you support, Jeff? Sorry.
Forest, the mighty Forest.
So
The
basically,
tricky trees.
I thought, oh yeah, we were having a laugh about that on the train up there.
Tricky Tree.
Yeah, the shittest nickname of any football club ever.
Right, smongies.
The Tricky Trees. That is literally... It makes no sense whatsoever. Why would you be terrified about a bit of wood with leaves?
Sam, any comment on the sports ball?
You loved sports ball.
I was trying to stop my brain from dribbling out of my ears. It's quite difficult. So I'm to keep my head very straight.
How much would we have to pay? Have you ever been in a sports ball arena?
I believe I have at some point.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you?
I believe I was dragged there as a child, yes.
Dragged.
To the football or the
This is impressive
rugby
because St
league?
Helens don't have a professional football team. From
They've
what
got a
I understand.
professional rugby team, though.
That doesn't count. We're
It's a
talking about
sports ball.
We're talking about specific sports ball with the feet.
I didn't think it
Oh,
had
I
to
know.
be a specific sports
He's
ball. I've
talking
never been
about
to football
sports
game, but I've been to
ball.
a rugby game. I've been to several rugby
Hand
games.
egg doesn't count.
Hand egg does count.
Sorry. Standard hand egg doesn't count. Reverse hand egg does count.
And even then, this is hand egg league, not hand egg union. So
Yeah, but you're in the right part of the country for that to be legitimate hand egg.
Yeah.
I've been to the rugby. I've never been to a
Keep-
football game.
If Keep was here, he'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck are you talking about?
I believe you might
Fucking hand egg."
you might
you
call
fuck.
you might call us all cunts as well. Just to really emphasise this point.
But yes, basically, to cut a long story short, me and James have been in Middlesbrough today, watching the football.
Some of
In
us were
short.
happier than others.
Some were happier than others, and that's the way it's going to go.
The worst thing was,
Always
though,
gonna go
the
that
person who was the happiest couldn't even be outwardly happy because he was in enemy territory.
I was.
So he was in amongst the great unwashed.
In Middlesbrough.
In Middlesbrough.
So when
All of
Okay, I was gonna say
when
that.
Forest got out to go, I had to stand there with all the other Middlesbrough fans going, oh no.
Oh no, that's terrible.
The best thing is that you probably might have noticed this, that Middlesbrough fans are, a strange breed.
I'd
in
say
that-
fickle.
Massively so.
Yeah.
Never happy unless they're moaning about something.
Isn't that to mean they're English though?
Yeah, you could argue that.
There was a guy who just he was the life and soul for 20 minutes and then
That was quite funny. There was a guy who was giving it rock all for 25 minutes.
like
So
directing the crowd.
Every time a
Starting
chant would
doing the
go,
YMCA.
every time a chant would go, this guy would turn to the back of the stand, giving it, and then when no one would join in, he'd turn around and go, and then after 25 minutes of the first half, disappeared. I mean, he might have just given it one of them or something like that. I mean, not one of them, but one of those or something like that.
Went to the powder room.
Possibly.
Pretty sure.
And then, just so he wasn't seen for the remainder of the first half, then we went downstairs, got ourselves a refreshing beverage, maybe some sustaining, hot food,
A puka pie.
a puka pie, don't
Puka
compromise, and proceeded to imbibe, and, thought, second half just started, nothing interesting is going to happen, go for a cheeky piss, and the first goal of the game's happened. Ooh.
Didn't know.
Loud cheer.
Oh, it was a cheer.
Loud cheer. We're quite close to the away end, but we are in the home end. What could have happened here? So, inquisitive me pops back into the concourse and sees that
He had put the chap away by this
Middlesbrough
point.
have not
though.
only conceded, they've conceded the first goal they've conceded at home all season, which just so happens to coincide with the first time I've been to go see them this season. So I'm thinking they've saved that up for me. They've saved up an extra special, terrible performance for the day I decide to drop 30 sheets and go watch.
They were terrible.
I mean, Forest were much better.
No.
I've been with Paul when Middlesbrough have lost before, and yeah, I'd have rather been anywhere else.
I don't think I was particularly bad.
No? It was
I would
a shit game of football.
I would be more annoyed if they played really well and lost the game through a really jammy goal, but they didn't deserve to win. They didn't deserve to get anything out of the game, so I'm not disappointed at all. I'm just annoyed at the way they played.
And
All I can see behind your eyes is me.
Were you trying to sort of like... Is it The Exorcist where she turns around?
I was trying to mime snapping my own neck to relieve myself of my misery. If that's,
anyway, as Mr. Dench said, as long as we were friends and we came away friends, everyone's happy.
And you then pointed out to him that you didn't go as friends.
This friends
acquaintances
tag that's been like, banded about. I don't know where that's come from.
There's no love in football.
frosty acquaintances, I think.
I mean, acquaintance is a very, very harsh term that I'm not entirely happy with myself. Work colleague, there we'll go with that. People I have met.
Wow, colleague.
Well, I suppose our relationship is I once knew your brother.
That's what it basically is. And obviously, as we discussed previously on the podcast, you've kind of shit out and had to go for the silver medal. So.
Yeah.
Always,
if I can't have James Williams, I get Paul Williams instead.
I mean, the option was obviously, John Williams.
The legend.
Oh, your third choice there.
I wouldn't even say I'm third. Probably my granddad slips in there somewhere. And then there's obviously my mum and my nephew now. So I'm probably, way down the
line of succession, is it?
you know when like at Christmas when it's like the adult table, kids table.
Prince Harry keeps just getting basically shoved down the pecking order for when he's going to become king. It's basically what it feels like to do.
Right,
anyway, Moviecast, eh?
Yeah.
So,
what was the point to that little excursion?
It's the history. So the history of the reason that we watched the film that we watched was that these guys were going to the football, Paul was going to have a skinful, and no matter what we put on the TV to watch as a movie, Paul was going to fall asleep.
What
he was going to have a skinful.
Had a skinful. He's also been drinking.
Yeah.
He was going to have a skinful. He can better keep his eyes open.
I am tired.
I'm going to start slapping him. Drink this. Drink that.
Yeah. It's not got anything to keep you awake in it, though.
I don't know why you're not sustaining beverage. Have you already finished one?
Does Pepsi Max? Yeah. Does it have the caffeine in it?
Yes.
Comment below if Cherry Coke got any caffeine in it.
So,
yeah, flavourings
no
including
offense,
caffeine.
But it's Pepsi Max Cherry. So.
Pepsi, Cherry, Max things, words that all go together to make
Pepsi, Cherry, Max thing.
So, we decided that probably the best idea, go comedy. Comedy has the best chance of keeping Paul awake after a skinful drinking all day and a mystery meat.
And after about 8 o'clock in the evening.
And it'll be dark, and all the factors that go into making it so that Paul's going to fall asleep. No.
It wasn't dark. That light's been on the entire time we've been watching this.
Dark outside.
It's not okay if it ticks over in the winter. It ticks over to 4 p.m. Well, the outside doesn't lie straight away. That's not how it works.
I think it's a little bit how it works.
I'm not an owl or whatever it is.
I think what Paul's trying to point out is if we're inside and the light's on. Yeah.
I'm wide awake.
Yeah.
However, if we're inside and the lights are down
low.
So
that is snoozy time.
In any case.
So we decided comedy was the best option.
It's already
So
to live on.
I'm like, we've banded round the reason the various different films, and one of the ones on the list that needed to be watched was Tropic Thunder.
Who banded this round? Just you and Sam?
So I've been telling Paul.
I've never seen it.
I've been telling Paul.
I was very happy to watch it.
That
we've been discussing it for about the last 7 years.
Yeah.
That I needed to see it because it's very funny. There's very funny scenes in it. So he said when it was suggested that I needed to pick the film for tonight, he said, "How about this?" And I was like, "Do you know what? Yes, never seen it. Very
So why
happy to
didn't we
watch
watch it?
We're getting to that, James.
I was even saying to Paul today.
We're getting to that.
I hate Tropic Thunder. It's crap.
Oh,
all these people. But
sound like a reason why we might not.
But what did I say to you? I was like, if you wait until the end, you have got possibly the best piece of cinema history ever.
So just to clarify, what you're saying there, James, is that you would have happily sat through 90 plus minutes of terrible filmmaking in your own admission, under your own admission, for me to see a 30-second.
I mean, he can't comprehend how good it is, though, can he?
I said to you earlier that if you can get through a particular scene in Tropic Thunder without laughing,
Yeah.
I can't even remember what I promised you. I was like, if you can get through that, I could watch that scene on loop. Anywho,
I've never seen it. So
I didn't mean that scene. I was meaning.
I've been keeping it in the wings to watch.
a farmer, a lead farmer. So Tropic Thunder. These boys, I got here at the time we were supposed to be here, and these boys turned up an hour later.
We were never going to be here at 7
We were
o'clock.
never going to be here for 7 o'clock.
Never going to be here for 7 o'clock.
I don't care. I live here.
The
No
train-
one's
the
going
train-
for that.
The first available train we could have got would have been at 5:10. The game didn't finish until 4 minutes to 5.
So you're just not dedicated, is what you're saying?
If that's what you're taking from that particular snippet of information, then yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking.
Look, to be honest, we did have to have a stop at Barcuda and to pick up the train beers.
You can't go on a train without having train beers. I mean, the rules are stated. I even had to check on the northern trains website.
And how many stops after you got off the train between the train station and here?
We literally went from the train station to the Tesco on Piccadilly.
That's for...
This guy had a nice chat with a nice lady. I was going to say lady of the evening. That is not what I meant at all. This guy.
But now you mentioned it, it was.
A nice chat with a nice girl who was behind him in the queue. Turned out she was definitely a Geordie. So I mean,
definitely crazy.
I say she wasn't a lady of the evening, but I mean,
Possibly,
I could.
yeah.
And then we stopped at the takeaway to get.
You feel like you've travelled through time at this point.
I'm like, it's just utter shit.
When are we getting to the film?
Yeah, well, we must be 15 minutes in, and we've not even mentioned the film's name yet.
15
We've talked about Middlesbrough.
15
We've talked
minutes?
King Football Club.
You
for
must be
15
joking.
minutes.
We're well over 15
Well, that's alright.
minutes.
Well, that's alright. We haven't discussed Middlesbrough Football Club for 15 minutes. If you want me to discuss Middlesbrough Football Club, I can happily do that, Sam.
And you know what? I'm sure you could for hours upon hours upon hours of everybody's time.
Just like you could with St Helens. You were a massive St Helens fan. I can read it on your face.
So, we're going to watch Tropic Thunder. So this morning, at work, James said to me, I don't really understand why we're watching Tropic Thunder because it's a massive pile of shit. And I went, no, it isn't. It's a great film. And I went, this comes from a man who dislikes a large percentage of the cast of that film. That film is that good as a film that I can forego all of the people in it that I don't like to watch it.
I don't like it that much.
Like, if there was one person in it that I didn't like, I'd be like, that one person I don't like, so there we go. But it's literally like half the cast of that film. I'm like, I don't like them. Stiller. Coogan. I mean, even Jack Black.
I think we need to
I'm
look into the Coogan thing, because he's not even in it that long, but you still don't like him.
For the first third of the film.
What's the third?
I mean, I'm sorry, but I've got to take umbrage with this. Are you saying that you don't like Alan Partridge?
You don't like Coogan?
Just Coogan. Innit?
But Alan Partridge is probably one of the greatest characters ever created.
Tom Cruise.
I don't get
Tom
why
Cruise
you
is
don't
the
like
best
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is the best thing in that film.
Yeah, he is.
Don't spoil anything.
But that's fine, because Tom Cruise is great.
Oh,
No.
questionable. This is that's a questionable
No.
isn't there?
He's been in some good films. I'm not
But
sure
that's
Tom
it.
Cruise
He's-
makes those films better.
Yeah,
but
he's been in some good films, but he's not.
I can't imagine anyone else being Maverick.
I think the best Tom Cruise film I've seen is Minority Report.
I would go with Edge of Tomorrow as being the best one I've seen of his recently.
I like Edge of Tomorrow. I'm surprised that you're calling that one out as...
It's a really,
It's
really
alright.
excellent film
Yeah.
based on a book called All You Need Is Kill. That was what the book was called.
Fair enough.
Japanese book.
So we get to this evening. These guys turn up very late after the rest of us were here for a long time, and James is like, I've decided that I don't agree with the film because it's shit. So do you want to fill the rest of this
I don't
story?
think that's how it went down.
So Paul was like, how about we watch my favourite film ever? That's what you sound like. And then
That's how people from Middlesbrough say.
Just give us that again.
let's watch my favourite film we've ever.
I don't know what's going on with this because I've never smoked 20 a day in my life.
One
You dirty slag.
One
You
man
dirty
cried
bastard.
all the tears out of his body.
It's apparently quite funny because apparently.
I think I thought it was just
Imagine how his mum felt.
it was like a Les Dawson impression then.
It was my generic stupid voice. It happened to just be Bernard Manning this week.
But why was it so gravelly and so throaty? Makes no sense.
If someone offers you cake, tell them to fuck off.
So
Back in the face and tell them to fuck off.
So that is what Paul said.
Yeah.
Is it both?
Word for word.
I mean, I actually thought it was a recording, to be honest.
And what is your favourite film of all time, Mr. Williams?
A Beautiful Mind. I love that film.
Well, that's not what we watched this evening, is it? What did we watch this evening that wasn't A Beautiful Mind and was in fact your favourite film ever?
A cracking piece of cinematography.
No.
A thrilling
No.
story told in 3 acts.
A real rags to riches tale, I guess.
An absolute rags to riches tale. It's the story of one man overcoming adversity.
A real underdog story.
No, that's the tagline from the film we said we should have watched.
The much, much better dodgeball.
But Dodgeball's still got all the same cast as Tropic Thunder, so I take issue.
Plus Vince Vaughn, just chilling out in there.
Yeah.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we watched Baseketball.
1998 classic.
Now, a lot of you might ask, what the fuck is that?
Basketball.
Because I've never heard of it.
Does anybody want to do the rundown of what basketball is for anybody who...
Yeah, I can do it.
Because at this point in time,
Utter
I
shit.
presume nobody... Like,
Right.
anybody that actually listens to
I
the
can give a
podcast is
rundown
now
of
like,
Basketball.
I'm out.
But Basketball was Matt and Trey's film before Matt and Trey really sort of hit it big, I think, with South Park. We reckon maybe the first season of being out.
But it wasn't their first film, though.
But
No.
when did they do Orgasmo?
Did they do Cannibal the Musical as well?
Orgasmo was either 95 or 96, I think.
I
Well,
thought
it's-
Orgasmo was after basketball.
No, I'm pretty sure Orgasmo was the
But
first.
Basketball
film
feels like the mall rats of that particular thing. You know, it's got a bit more of a budget to it.
Yeah.
It's a bit more mainstream.
From watching Orgasmo, you can see that it's filmed lower budget. It just has that sort of more grainy feel to it, and I think Basketball, it seems like it was filmed quite well.
Yeah, it's a proper studio film.
So you're simultaneously wrong and right. So Orgasmo was 97,
Right.
basketball was 98. So they're literally...
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that period would have been like when they were sort of rising to stardom, really. Because remember, we had South Park in '99, South Park film, should I say?
Yeah.
So we've got our first probably big studio film, and it's basically dodgeball. To some extent, you've got a silly sport where they've combined basketball and baseball.
You do realise that dodgeball's a legitimate thing. Isn't it?
I know it is, but you know what I mean. It's not exactly a high end sport. It's a fairly it's a sport that no one takes seriously.
Kickball, as it's played here.
Yeah, but no one takes it seriously.
No, it's not a professional. Well, I don't think it is anyway. Dodgeball, I don't think it's a professional sport.
I'm sure someone gets paid to do it.
I'm sure they do.
Either way, carry on.
Yeah, so they create a sport from baseball and basketball, and it's sort of that it becomes like a big national thing, and it's sort of rise to stardom, their fall, and then their eventual victory. Spoilers alert.
Yeah.
No, none of you are watching this, you don't need to worry.
Also, if you've left it 20 years to watch Basketball, shame on
I
you.
imagine most Matt and Trey fans would probably have already seen it, and
Yeah,
no one else will give a fuck.
There's no way there's a person out there who's watched South Park who hasn't watched at least one, if not all 4 of their films. You've never seen any of their films.
No.
Well, yeah, no.
You've never seen Team America.
Oh, yeah, alright, okay.
So my point is absolutely valid.
You've never seen the South Park film?
No.
Well,
You never watched South Park.
Because I can't stand South Park. It's shite.
It's really funny. South Park is a very well done comedy.
I feel like Andy just wants to swap me
I do feel
away
like-
now.
The statements you have made over the course of today, it's just
I'm
off the
not
charts.
really not into animated stuff. I've never really got on board with like.
But
South
they
Park.
even say...
I don't like South
I don't know
Park.
what series it is, but
I
they even
don't-
say, no, I can't watch Terrence and Filipino. The animations are crappy. And then you see him sort of like tearing
It's
off
not.
down the road.
No, it's not that much. I just don't find that type of comedy funny. Like I don't like Family Guy. I don't find that
Nobody
funny.
does. It's shit.
Loads of people
Ed
love
will
Family
bring
Guy.
Ed
it
does
up.
like Family Guy.
Ed still
I
likes
will
Family
fight
Guy.
Ed to the death to prove him wrong.
But in terms, do you not think that Basketball is
Ed,
the
yeah.
weakest of Matt and Trey's films? Because I do, by quite a long way.
No, but
I mean, you obviously like it, but
I just think they were all good. I think it's just because like
Because you're a child.
because I've watched them that many times. I find them interesting. I find them funny. I enjoy watching them.
But I watched them all when they were new. Probably not Orgasmo. I think I probably saw that quite a bit later. But I saw those 3 films in succession
I saw
when they came out.
Orgasmo and Basketball almost back to back. Like a mate of mine was like, "Have you ever seen these?" I was like, "No," and he was like, "You need to watch them." So we watched like one after the other.
Yeah, but then we had Team America in 2004, I think. And it's interesting because I could watch South Park, the film. I could watch Team America at any point, and I think
South Park the musical,
yeah. But
which is basically.
But watching Basketball,
But that's what it's called. That's
honestly-
his full name, South Park the Musical.
I thought it was
Is it?
South Park bigger, longer, uncut.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, carry on.
Well, I say Basketball
Porno
has
film
not
stuff.
aged well. I would say the South Park film has aged fine, and I can't imagine why Team America would age at all.
I've actually seen Team America recently because Rob had never seen it.
Basketball is
I tried to sit through that about 5 years after it got released. I was like, this film was pretty bad.
Team America.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
It was
Team
pretty
America
terrible.
is so much. It's both more stupid and more clever at the same time. Basketball is just dumb.
So is Team America your favourite of the 4 then?
South Park is also clever and dumb in all the right ways, whereas Basketball just feels stupid.
I might have said it at this point in time, but even when it was brand spanking new, I was never the biggest fan of South Park the movie. Team America is the best one of the 4 for me.
I can't really comment on this.
But Basketball feels like, you know what, very much the gross out comedies of the time. The American Pie might have been a bit later. I have a feeling that might have been later than
American
I think it
Pie
is.
was 99. Right?
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of era, it feels like it was like a big thing in gross out comedies. And
I wouldn't say that American Pie was a gross out comedy.
it kind of
though.
is. There's something about Mary. When was that? That feels.
Oh,
That was 99,
strangely,
that was 98.
just as a bit of a segue on that, I was reading. In fact, I was watching a podcast with Clayne Crawford Riggs.
And I was told to ask you about it.
Oh, right, yeah, it's very good. But because he's obviously been replaced by Sean William Scott, I ended up reading about Sean William Scott. To play Stifler in that first original film, he got paid $40,000, which is a tiny amount
But when you think about
for what
it,
that film was.
but when you think about it backwards, in the first
Because
film,
he's not-
he's a very minor character.
I don't think he is. I remember him
They,
being
they wouldn't pay him millions and millions of dollars to release that film because they didn't know what that film was going to do at the box
No,
office.
of course, but what
And was he
I-
an unknown actor at the time as well?
Yeah, but
I
what
think
I
that
maintain
was
is though
very
that for me, he's still one of the main cast, but he's
But
classed as very much supporting
you've
cast.
seen it.
Yeah, possibly.
Jason Mewes was delivering pizzas after the second film he'd been in. And he'd turn up at people's houses to deliver their pizza. They'd be like, "When you in Mallrats?" Oh yeah. He said like every other house he'd delivered a pizza to, someone was
No.
like, "When you in Mallrats?" Because their thing is people don't understand how much you get paid for your first few films. Affleck got paid like $10,000 or something.
What's the name of the lady who played Wonder Woman? Like recently,
Gal Gadot.
you'd be shocked at how little she got paid because she was essentially a complete unknown.
Yeah, it was. There was
Well, see, I know her because she's in the Fast and
Fast and
Furious
Furious,
franchise,
maybe.
so I've been watching her for a long time. as it were.
He said without the slightest
But she's
hint of
like a big, high tier star.
No.
I don't know. I've never seen any of the Fast and Furious.
I've been
so.
watching her from a long time. He neglected to say from the bushes.
I will definitely endeavour to watch all of them.
See,
She's basically she's just an Israeli model.
What one bit? I've just never had any sort of inkling.
If you're not that asked about cars and stuff,
No.
I don't. Hate
I love
them.
car
I don't know.
films.
Car films just don't excite me at all.
And even now, Fast and Furious moved away from being like a street race film to just being action films. They've still got cars in.
They
I like
dropped into
Drive, if that
heist
counts.
movies.
Heist movies, like from like Fast and Furious 5.
Yeah, they're now heist movies.
Yeah, with a much bigger cast.
Does it say do Drive and Baby Driver count as part of car films? I like those too.
Baby Driver is definitely a car film.
Drive is a bit more mean. I don't know. It's kind of a. I'm not sure driving is the focus of it.
I'd say it's still a car film, but it's not.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Drive's very
Great
good.
film.
It is.
That's all I've ever heard. But you know when you go, oh, that's one of those films that I probably should have seen.
You
by
have to
now.
be in the mood to watch it, I think, because it's not exactly a bundle of laughs.
Yeah, it's pretty serious. Great soundtrack. Really good soundtrack.
Drive.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'm not going to preach to you about the Baby Driver soundtrack because you listen to it on repeat.
It's more that I
all the
happened
time.
to watch the two of them like within a week of each other, just like almost randomly, and it was interesting to see the same sort of concept done like in a completely different way. Because one of them's Edgar Wright, so it's like kind of a madcap screwball sort of. It's a bit more serious, and Drive is like super down the centre. It's not silly at all.
That's so weird that Sam just said that because I was going to say the exact same thing.
You don't know.
Have you seen Baby Driver?
Do you think I've seen Baby Driver?
No, I don't. And not even in the slightest.
I don't even know what it's about. I don't even know who's in it.
I mean, I've got no idea of the main guy.
I can't remember.
Baby Driver. I've got
I
no
know
idea
it's
of that
an Edgar
guy.
Wright film, so.
Again, I couldn't tell you if let's find out. I couldn't tell you if he's been in anything. I've never seen
No,
him.
sure.
Baby, I've got no idea
but
who he is.
It's
But
got Kevin
it wouldn't
Spacey in it,
surprise
Spacey.
me
Yeah.
if he was an unknown.
I believe it was his last movie before.
don't
things-
look like that. You know who Kevin Spacey is?
I think I'm doing the.
all of his
Okay.
allegations.
Yeah.
Who else is it? Hasn't
Hasn't he started being like cut out?
Oh
of
god,
the
who's the
film?
name of the sort of the main antagonist? It's got it's Jamie Foxx, isn't it? In the
Jamie Foxx is in it.
and the other guy whose name I can't remember, and it's really annoying me. The other part of the crew.
There's a small part of the crew, the guy who played the Punisher, which his name escapes me at the moment.
This is going to annoy me.
But then you mean the guy that was part of the couple?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Probably Jason Momoa.
It wasn't Jason Momoa. Why was
So yeah, he's done.
Aquaman.
This is very.
You know, there was those Divergent movies.
Yeah.
He's been in.
I didn't watch any of
looks like
those.
All of those.
Was there like 3?
I've never seen.
Was there 3?
Three.
Yeah.
And then there
Oh,
might have been
that
a game.
He's from Mad Men.
Yeah, I've never seen Mad Men, but I have seen him in Brian.
But he was great in it.
But you say Kevin Spacey's last film. I'm pretty sure that the guy that played Baby seems to be in another film, which would appear to be.
Oh, he's not the guy who's made the accusations about Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, 2018.
I assumed that Kevin Spacey had that film might have already been in production. I thought he kind of moved out of the limelight.
Yeah, and whoever it was that said that he'd been removed from stuff. I think there was a film that was nearly finished, and they've had to go back and reshoot almost all of it.
Because Dench came out and said, not our Dench, as in the actual famous.
Oh, Judy's.
Dench. She came out and said it's disgraceful. It's like, why should he be taken out of all these films or something like that?
When nothing's been like proven.
In fairness, he did. I wouldn't say he admitted to it, but he did not admit to it. If that makes sense.
Didn't he try and cover it up with like coming out?
No, he basically said at the time, he was like, "Did this happen?" It's like, I honestly don't remember. Was the Well, I'm sure I was probably should have just said no. Would have been the correct way to deal with it. I'm not. I'm not.
I can't remember. It was on loads of drugs.
Pretty much. That's pretty much exactly what you said. Yeah.
That just reminds me that Bill Cosby got convicted last week, didn't he?
Bill Cosby's.
Joe Rogan seems to be talking on something about
Was it William H. Cosby Jr. was escorted out of court?
He must be in his late 70s, if not 80.
Bill Cosby.
He's in his
80s. Yeah.
He was like 81, 82 or something.
Did he get 11 years or something like that?
I was going to say, I imagine it's a case of he's pretty much going to spend the rest of his life being
Yeah.
dead.
I don't think he'll go. I think he'll be too ill to go or something. So.
They're questioning his mentality, aren't they? They've sort of like they made comment on the fact that one of the only things he said throughout the whole court case was when they said that he was a flight risk. The only thing he said was, "I don't own a plane," because they said he's a flight risk because he owns a plane.
But
The thing is, I can't remember Bill Cosby himself. Whenever I think Bill Cosby, all I think of is Eddie Murphy being Bill Cosby.
I'm trying to think of films I've seen him in. The other one I can think off the top of my head is Jack.
he was in Ghost Dad. That was a classic.
I just think of him on the Cosby
Cosby
Show,
Show.
if I'm honest.
I don't think I've ever seen The Cosby Show.
Which links to Jason Momoa.
Was he in the Cosby Show?
Because Jason Momoa is married to the daughter from the Cosby Show.
Well, I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
I don't know that. Rudy?
Jason Momoa is because the missus is absolutely infatuated with
Is it Rudy?
But he saw her on TV. The story is he saw her on TV and went, "Mum, I want one of them." and he saw her on TV and was like, "That's my future wife."
Are they about the same age, or is she quite a lot older?
She must be a fair amount older than him.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's
So yeah, he's like,
that's weird. That's really.
he's like, that's my wife, and they are now married. And there was this
I
thing.
feel like there's a lesson here, but there isn't.
Go after what you want.
Would that be like us during that movie, just going, James, I want that Yasmin Bleeth.
See, you made not one but 80 references to Yasmin Bleeth in that film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a poster that you had
She
on
was a
your
bit
wall.
of a pin-up when I was a kid.
I think she was like she was.
Did anyone else notice the fact that from here up her face didn't move because of she was
Bear in
having
mind,
surgery at
back
that
in
point?
the
I don't think she'd gone too far there. I think.
But back in the day, bear in mind that
Still
she was obviously playing second fiddle to Patton.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that she was playing third fiddle to the Hop.
And in that film, she was not doing a great lot, to be honest.
No.
She was generic love interest.
Well, she was the love interest, but she was barely in the film.
Yeah, I get something that Dodgeball does a lot better by making its love interest actually, entertaining to watch.
Well, I mean, it's the thing I enjoy about that is the fact that Ben Stiller basically just printed out his own wife for that film. Hilarious.
Zoolander also has.
What? That's his
I
wife.
honestly thought James had a stroke there because he just
That's
looked at
his
me and
wife?
thought, that's Ben Stiller's wife.
Is it?
Who gets with Vince Vaughn? Yeah. Spoiler alert.
She's in Zoolander as well. She's the love interest in Zoolander.
And she's pretty good in that too.
I stay away from that little groups films because
But I don't even necessarily disagree
they're just taking over for a bit though. That little crew.
They
didn't
did, but I would say their films
Weren't
were
they
not all.
called the Brat Pack?
That was earlier.
That
was the 80s, wasn't it?
No, that was the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
And then there was the Brat Pack that was Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Ferrell, I think. There was like about 6 or 7 of them. Seriously, Google the Brat Pack and just see who was in it.
Internet. Fake
I
keyboard.
always thought that
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson was part of that crew. Yeah. I always think of the Brat Pack as like.
Yeah, coming of age films in the 80s.
Yeah. See, the Rat Pack is like Sammy Davis Jr., Fred Snatch or whatever. Yeah. It's
Rob
basically like Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, that's how I was right.
Was there a new Brat Pack?
Yeah,
well,
I'm sure.
I think you're right in that there's a new version, but the Brat Pack is that St Elmo's
Sure.
Fire, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Breakfast, yeah.
Like Demi Moore was like basically in that crew as well, wasn't she? Even though she wasn't in that film.
But even if it isn't, I know what you mean. Is that
Yeah.
those actors you just couldn't move from after at a point. But like a lot of those films were variable from terrible to genuinely excellent. Because like Zoolander's great, and Dodgeball is great.
I haven't seen it.
You've never seen Dodgeball?
No.
I'm surprised by that.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm surprised if you tell me if there's any film you've not seen, I'd be surprised.
Loads of films. I think that this podcast could be called the Films I Haven't Seen podcast.
But that's kind of the whole saying. The whole point is that the whole point is a cultural exchange. There's
Yeah.
lots of films. I would say I would never have watched Pain and Gain, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. So I was happy to have seen it.
Me too.
I suppose.
Whereas I'd seen Baseketball before and knew it was terrible and had it reaffirmed.
I mean, this is what I don't understand. Like,
Paul was like
when you say it's terrible,
audibly laughing throughout that
what
film.
do you mean by it's terrible?
It's just a big, dumb, gross out comedy. I don't, you know.
So I can probably explain it a little bit in the sense of I saw Basketball originally. I've seen it since, and I've seen it quite a few times. But watching it then, I found it quite painful because I was like,
It feels very obvious. Like every joke is really laboured.
and I don't know if it's because I've seen it a lot. I don't know if it's because maybe time has moved on, or what elements went into. But watching it there, I was like, and you know,
It just feels really dated.
there was a chuckle here and there and all that, and you know, you can't get away from when things are funny. Things are funny. You know, it's funny.
And you were loving it, weren't you?
I'll always find that film funny.
Well, it's your favourite film, so.
He has only seen like 3 films in his life though, so.
No, I've realised that he's actually seen a lot of films. There's just a cut-off point that he's never seen. Like anything before the year 2000, you've got a good chance. Anything after that, no. Because I bet if I name a film from the 90s, like one of the bigger films, you've almost certainly seen it.
Right, this is the thing we should be doing.
I am prepared to play this game.
This is what we should be doing.
I like this game.
It should be a case of we just go around. You get the chance to name films and see if I.
Okay, Independence Day,
Yes.
Jurassic Park,
Yes.
The Lion King.
I think it was the first film I ever saw at the cinema.
Super Mario Brothers.
No.
That was the first film I
Casper.
saw at the cinema.
Yeah.
You see, that's dog shit, but you've seen it.
That's got a very young Christina Ricci.
She's not that young in that one, I don't think, but she's...
She's young enough where it was wrong for you to think that.
I knew it was coming, I always regretted saying it when it came out.
You were wrong.
Right into
I
that
did.
one.
At any stage,
Oh,
you
she
were
was
wrong to
wide
think that.
open.
She was like, it was after a Wednesday Addams days, I think, but before...
She
like,
must have only been
I
like
think she's not
8 years
attractive
old.
anyway.
You shut your whole mouth.
when, was she in Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah. Boy.
So I was thinking Casper is in the in-between stage between...
Sleepy
Back
Wednesday
in
Addams
the
and
day,
Sleepy Hollow.
Christina Ricci.
Christopher What? Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
I've never
Yeah.
thought that.
I reiterate my previous statement. Shut your whole mouth.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean,
She was
Andy's... it's a good point, well made.
Shut your whole mouth.
Yeah.
Any more for any more?
You
Any
have
more?
literally been swinging for the fences. today.
Stargate.
No.
I haven't seen that.
The 1998 Godzilla film.
With helicopters that can't fly upwards.
Yep, so you've seen that.
And an excellent soundtrack.
Name
We're
some 90s
going
films.
deeper underground.
You're gonna have to help me.
Yeah. You used to love
Jimmy Quai.
You used to love Jamiroquai.
Oh, Jimmy Quai.
Men in Black. I'm doing quite well here.
He
He's never
has a point. I think this is. I think
Right,
this is-
so, obviously,
Saving
now-
Private Ryan.
great film. Now flip it. Now tell me some of these classics. Sorry, stone cold classics that I should have watched, in your opinion. Or that you would imagine that a sensible human being would have
Well, it'd be sort of
seen.
post 2000.
Yeah,
There was loads of films that came out post 2000 that are great.
but that you would assume that a person would have seen.
Transformers.
Lord of the Rings.
That's well, you know that I've not seen any of those.
Well, I don't.
We've discussed it before.
Have we?
We've discussed it before. I've never seen any of the Star Wars films. I've never seen any of the Lord of the Rings films. I've never seen any of the Harry Potter.
Well, I'd say Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I mean, so the 2000s is when all the big franchises really started kicking into high gear. So I feel like a lot of those films, it's like there were 3 Lord of the Rings films. God only knows how many Harry Potter films.
9 at this
No, I
point?
don't think.
I haven't seen. I didn't watch the Harry Potter films until I think like the last two were about to come out.
If Tom was here right now.
Yeah, you'd be through that window.
Yeah.
Is he a big Harry Potter fan?
Big.
Literally every day.
I bet he's into
Books.
Twilight as well, right?
No, I don't think
Every
he's in the
day.
Twilight.
Every
books,
day he's
he did
watching
the
Harry
I think he did the books and watched the films. And he was massive. He was
And
massive.
when did the Marvel films start? They were about 2008, and that's
Yeah.
But it feels like the last decade has been utterly dominated by those and other franchise films.
Yes, but as you know, I have tried to fix that.
Mm-hmm. You can't use those against him because I know that he's said he's seen them.
You just need to watch Fast and Furious.
No, I'm alright, cheers. I'll pass that.
Bond films.
No interest.
Bond films.
I quite like the Bourne films. I've not seen the last few.
The Mission Impossible films are all worth a watch.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do have to agree.
Another one I'm just not bothered by.
Weirdly, the first one's probably the weakest of all of them.
I would say that's fair, yeah. In fact, I would say that by like a country mile it's the worst. Because the second one's like a very different film, and that sort of set the tone, I think, for the rest of them.
I think the second one went very, I don't know, like almost like Matrixy. It had like a lot of like what you would say is like the Michael Bay kind of
the Matrix
scenes.
Films, you've seen those?
Yeah,
I have seen the first one,
Then
That's
that's
the
all
best
you
one.
need to have seen.
and I was just.
That was in the 90s, though.
I like how he's about to go. I've seen the first one and it put me off the other two. Like,
it's not really put
no.
me off.
No, he saw the first one because that came out in 1999, so it is before the cut-off date.
I don't know why, but like
what happened to you in 2012?
it just seemed to be that whenever we used to go to the cinema, it was a case of we'd go to the cinema to see comedies. I remember like one of the last like serious films I went to go see like after the turn of the century was We Were Soldiers, and that was pretty harrowing.
Is that Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going to see Spider-Man
Oh yeah, for Spider-Man 1 and 2,
twice
they
or
were
three
big
times
films.
when it came out.
The X-Men films, they were all in the 2000s.
Didn't see the first one, but went to go see the second X-Men film for some reason because it was when we'd been to go see a Middlesbrough game, and then some of my mates were going to the cinema. So the guy that I'd been to Middlesbrough with, we said, "Do you want to go to the cinema?" And we just decided
But
to.
does the cut-off happen before 1990 as well? Have you seen like the Indiana Jones films?
I own the.
first three.
I want to say the 4 film
Three.
pack.
Have you seen like the Alien films, Blade Runner?
No one cares
You've
about
not seen
the four.
Star Wars. Any of your big 80s classics. Have you seen Predator?
Basically, anything with Schwarzenegger in.
Yeah, I was just about to say anything with Arnie's in is a good shout.
I love Kindergarten Cop.
I think that was the 90s.
Not that one.
I think that was
Running Man.
I think I have seen Running Man.
Original Total Recall.
No.
Oh, that's excellent. Commando.
By
You have to excuse
Commando.
my friend,
By
he's dead
Commando.
tired.
Conan the
I
Librarian.
don't mean Suburban Commando.
Well, when you say Commando,
Where-
do you mean Last Action Hero?
No, because that was the 90s. This is not fair. 'Cause we're still working within the cut-off. He keeps bringing it back to the 90s. The only things he remembers.
I have seen and enjoyed The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club's excellent.
It is. I think that was the very late 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean,
Outside of the
I'm surprised he likes that
Have you
after
ever
he's
seen
just
Ferris
made his...
Bueller's Day Off?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I
Very
haven't.
good film.
I haven't.
Good
Wow.
film.
Back to the Future.
He's another one that I'm not right into.
So yeah, you've not missed everything.
I forget his
Matthew
name.
Broderick.
Ghostbusters?
Broderick's not a favourite of mine either.
It's one of those films that I'm almost certain. It's like Terminator. Not Terminator. Terminator 2.
Yeah,
I've definitely
Ghostbusters
seen.
isn't like Terminator.
I've definitely seen all of Ghostbusters and all of Terminator 2. Potentially not in one scene, or from start to finish in one go.
Yes, I've seen both Ghostbusters films, and I won't ever watch them again because I think they're terrible.
That's not going to be a popular opinion.
I know
That's
it's
a
not.
really unpopular. I would say the first Ghostbusters is like.
You want to fight it then? You were definitely going to say a Stone Cold
It is. I don't need to say that. What I mean is, I'm trying to say it's almost a perfectly made film.
Don't. I have. You know, I have an
Didn't you
issue
say
with
this
Bill
about?
Murray.
Didn't you say this about The Thing?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, it's just we're just so incredibly well put together.
Well, there you go.
That film dared to be 90 minutes long.
Other John Carpenter films, seen those? Seen the Escape films?
Well, can you say it full?
John Carpenter's Escape from LA.
I've not seen it.
Or
John
Escape
Carpenter's
from New York.
Escape from New York.
I mean, LA's 90s one, right? So
yeah, I mean,
that falls into,
I don't like Escape from New York. I think it's a genuinely pretty boring film, but I know that's not terribly. I think it's just a bit. I actually prefer Escape from LA.
Ooh.
That's weird because
I've
most
just thought
people
of-
don't
I've
really
just
like
thought of a
sequels
film, but like there's
I just
over
don't-
the
I
originals.
just think the originals just
So
like
when I
really
was a
dull.
kid, there were two films that I remember watching that I don't know how they turned up, but there must have been like a late night BBC Two film or something like that. So there was like a period where you used to get like films that were on at like 11 o'clock that would be on BBC One or BBC Two, and they were basically low budget, made for TV movies from America.
Were these on Channel 5 after...
Not that kind of movie.
Because soft focus.
Basically, starring Shannon Tweed.
yeah.
Keep a box of tissues. It's going to be a bit of a jerker. I mean, sorry, a tear jerker. A salty tear jerker. No, so there was two films that I remember watching when I was a kid. The first one was a film called Death of a Cheerleader.
Don't know that one.
And when I was in my gap year and I was going through my buying
Pronounce
a lot of DVDs.
Can you pronounce it correctly? It's pronounced gap year.
Well, not.
Isn't that only if you go off travelling to find yourself?
On
your gap year.
gap year. So I bought it on DVD because
I'm not surprised you had a gap year.
I'd not seen it for years. So I thought, I really enjoyed that film when I was a kid. So I bought it and turned up, watched it. Fine. Really good. The other one that I remember watching, I always tried to find it whenever it was on TV and watch it, was Atomic Train.
I don't know that one.
Sounds like a transformer.
It's a film about a train that's going from somewhere to somewhere, and it's got a disused atomic nuclear warhead on it.
Is it Speed on a train?
Sort of, but the train becomes runaway, and they plan to derail it, but then they say you can't. There's a nuclear warhead on there, and it'll
Is this a Pierce Brosnan film?
There is a few famous people in it, and I can't remember who they are.
I seem to remember a Pierce Brosnan film.
But
Sorry,
if you get a chance to watch it, really, really good.
Is it called Atomic Train?
It's called Atomic Train.
I feel like I've been taking crazy pills. This can't be a real thing.
But to say it was a TV film, I'm sure it was like nearly 3 hours long. It's got.
Was it Das Boot? Were you actually watching Das Boot?
It's got. Who's the girl who plays?
No, it's another.
Who's
Rat
the
Pack.
girl?
It's got Rob Lowe in it.
Yes, it has
Does
got
it?
Rob Lowe in it. Who's the girl who plays?
It's just
I think
quality
it's
product, Rob Lowe.
Samantha from Sex and the City.
Kristen Davis. No, it's not Samantha. It's Charlotte.
Charlotte from Sex
Yeah.
and the City. She's in it.
What's happening?
It's really good. It's a really good film.
I mean, look at the billboard
Give us the
poster.
runtime.
That is a film, that in it, eh? Look at that poster.
That's actually a really cool poster. I really like
the
it.
runtime?
Like genuinely.
I'm going to go over 2 hours.
It's like really, it's lame in a really good way. I want to see Atomic Train now. Should you watch Atomic Train?
Wow, he's really going for this. Atomic Train. Let's see. So this is
That's awful.
1999 American made-for-TV disaster thriller film
Really good film.
about an accidental nuclear explosion destroying the city of Denver.
Whoa! Were the Broncos okay?
Nuclear apocalypse, man.
Apparently got Mina Savarian.
Really?
Yes.
Ah,
she's also in it.
now we're interested, aren't we?
I'm not interested, yeah.
Runtime.
168 minutes.
I told you, it's nearly 3 hours long. It's absolutely insane because it's just one of those films.
Join us next time, ladies and gentlemen, on Moviecast when we talk about Atomic Train.
It's building up. So basically, the film builds up for ages. Where
It's
It fucking does.
well, it's a case of the film just goes on for ages. Where they're basically they're trying to figure out what's going on with the train.
I think that's longer than Apocalypse Now.
And then for some reason they managed to derail the train, but the atomic warhead doesn't go off. And then for some reason,
That
like
was the end of the film, presumably.
as explained in the film, the warhead goes off, and then it's like a second film that happens within the film. It's so good. All I want to do is go home and watch Atomic Train.
The train derails and becomes a terrific wreck.
A terrific wreck, not a terrible one.
No, a terrific.
As wrecks go, it's one of the best.
Discovering the now highly unstable bomb on board, firefighters struggle to extinguish the fire at the crash site. After realising that metallic sodium is on the train, the firefighters are Nest. What does Nest stand for? They always like scramble nests, don't they? In these
Nuclear
kind of
something support.
team.
Nuclear electromagnetic support. I bet that.
Yeah, I don't know.
The best thing about this is that I'm pretty sure I have now piqued your interest so much that Sam is going to go on that internet immediately and purchase a perfectly legal copy of that film.
I suspect a perfectly legal copy will be extremely poorly seeded. So
The misinterpretation of the radio call to water bomb the train leads a helicopter to dump its load of water on the wreck. When water comes into contact with metallic sodium, it explodes.
I heard the phrase "dump its load" and thought I better watch that film then.
He thought he was watching something else, but then got hooked in the roller coaster ride that is Atomic Train. I mean, you've got to admit that there's that little bit of. I'm a little. I have to know.
I think the thing is, I think what I'm more like bothered about is like, how did we get here? Like onto Atomic Train. I don't know.
Because we started with Baseketball.
I know we started with Baseketball.
I don't know.
I followed the thread, and then suddenly
downhill.
Can I swear, if we are going to watch a nuclear, disaster
I'm
movie,
confused.
that is the nuclear disaster movie film that I want to watch.
What is it?
It's fucking excellent.
Broken Arrow is a film that was made in the 90s. Yes.
I'm really
Okay,
confused.
Arrow.
So the fire.
Excellent.
What fire? The train is derailed.
It's
There's
on
a
fire.
Fire.
Yeah, it's on
So
fire.
the fire,
Not a nuclear
the fire is caused by other carriages setting on fire.
Yeah.
Basically, and then the warhead
Yeah,
is in the middle.
Michael
of the
Bay
fire.
was probably on board. An explosion.
For some reason, it's a case of that there's basically they need to put out the fire before it detonates
the nuclear bomb.
But they can't put out the fire using water because the water will ignite. It will set off the bomb anyway.
Yeah.
It's really convoluted and complicated, but it's a really good film. I'm amazed at doing Oscars, to be fair.
Anyway, Broken Arrow next time. So, Baseketball.
Basketball was a film, what we watched. It's very dated.
Shit.
Time has not been kind to it.
It was just
And
crap.
Dodgeball is basically just a better version
It
of it.
was just, it was just crap.
It's actually dated more than because I've not seen it for years, and I was aware that it might have dated, but I wasn't prepared for quite how badly Time had treated it.
Yeah, essentially, me and you just spent that entire film googling people in it. Well, IMDbing the people in it to see how badly they'd aged, and some of them had aged quite well. To be fair, Jenny McCarthy, has aged.
She's probably more machine than man now, though.
Probably, but the pictures we found on IMDb don't know how current they are. She'd aged quite well.
Yeah.
Yasmin Bleeth, on the other hand,
I don't think it's her age you were concerned about. It was either a food addiction or a crack addiction.
yeah, it was either the meth or the food. Well, either or.
Wow.
Silvstedt was doing
Other
alright.
illegal substances are available.
No,
She didn't look that bad.
She didn't.
looked awful.
Silvstedt.
She looked how I would expect a aging.
Yeah. Because like you said, at the time she was probably
1998.
well on the road of enhancement at that stage.
Yeah, she just looks. I agree with you. I don't think she looks too bad, to be honest. As far as
Yeah.
And then I just started googling Elvira. Because at one point in that film, I thought Yasmin Bleeth looked like Elvira. Her hair was like her head here.
You're still going to have to explain Elvira.
Yeah, I still don't really know what she's from.
She's from Elvira. Elvira's a film.
Right, okay.
Was it in Paul's,
which we should probably watch.
Was it in Paul's window of films he might have seen?
Yeah, not that you might have seen. I can guarantee if you watched Elvira, you'd really like it. Because it's that kind of it's that sort of thing. It's like
silly,
like Animal House, like dumb comedy sort of stuff.
I don't know if you were there when Tom was suggesting it on Tuesday. He was suggesting that we should have watched a sport-based film.
We were,
and the film that he suggested, was Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans is amazing.
It's a very good film.
It's a Disney, isn't it?
It is a Disney movie.
Yeah.
I don't think you would like it.
I don't tend to watch sport
I
films
think
in
you
general.
would. You probably would get to the end and go, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But you would, on the other hand, you would also probably struggle to get to that point, if you see what I mean. You'd get to the end and go, yeah, that film's alright. It was a film. It was okay. But you would, from start to finish, not.
I'm not in the slightest bit interested in like college football, but that's a great film.
The history of it.
Yeah.
The history
See, I
behind
put that in the same bracket as like a Coach Carter, which is again a very good
Not
film.
seen that.
It's very good. It's about college basketball, and it's got Samuel L. Jackson in it. Again, very very good film.
Remember the Titans is good though.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington and Robert
I'm
De
sure
Niro.
it is. It's just one of those films I'm unlikely to watch.
And who's the
unless,
girl in it?
Historically, it's very.
The young girl in it. She went on to be.
Panettiere.
Yeah, I was going to say she went on to be a legit actress, didn't she?
Hayden Panettiere.
Is she still with Klitschko?
I think so, but that is a.
There's a weird
ridiculous mismatch,
weird, yeah.
He's about twice the size of it. He must absolutely crush her to pieces.
Oh, actually, no. Did she ditch him for a basketball player?
Well, maybe.
I think she went even
bigger.
taller. Yeah.
It's not Dirk Nowitzki, is it?
I don't know. It's basketball players.
So,
Unless it's LeBron, I don't know. It's not LeBron.
Sam, thoughts? Care to name as a basketball player?
No.
Concise and to the point. I like it.
You should now do that too, because he did the. Have you seen it? So yeah, he should name sports personalities, and you should guess which sport.
No.
That could be.
So, no,
You saw a basketball player in. There's a basketball player in the film we just watched.
Player in that?
Why would I know American sports players?
Who said it might be an American? He just said sports personalities.
I might know footballers only from vague cultural osmosis.
You know, you said that you had an idea for doing a podcast game show. That was the premise of it.
Yeah, the premise
You should definitely do it.
Yeah.
and I think I did it on him, and that might have been one of the lost podcasts.
Possibly, but yeah, you can say sports. People will be like, no, don't know that person.
I create.
Well, it would be a case of
lead
I
container.
would give you a name and you have to determine whether you think it's true or false. That's the way that game should be played.
Wait.
So as in like,
To be fair,
if I said to you, Tom Brady, sports star, non-sports star.
Sports star.
Correct.
So I said to him on Thursday, I was like, ha, Clinton Dix.
And I bet he was like, well, that's not even a real person.
So I went,
So,
which is a real person, no word will lie, plays for the Green Bay Packers. And then I'm like, I could see this sort of, like the look of, I think you're making that up, and I'm like, and now I'm going to Google, ha, Clinton Dix. I went, there you go, plays for the Green Bay Packers.
It's just more that sports in general I don't care about, and American sports are like another level of I could not give a single shit. It's like, I've got no skin in that game whatsoever. It's like, oh, what are the Chicago Bulls? Who cares? They're like a million miles away in a sport I don't care about.
You got a team now.
what sport do the Chicago Bulls play, Sam?
Basketball.
So you do know. So you do have a slight bit of interest there.
Yeah, I know the Toronto Raptors. I know...
Well, you know more about the...
Right, keep going. You're on a roll.
Is the Raptors a basketball team?
The Miami... I feel like I should know this. Lake? Is it the Lakers?
No, he's going basketball, isn't he?
You've combined
You're doing
two basketball
Dolphins.
teams there.
I don't know.
He's going basketball, isn't
So when Andy
Is the
said
heat-
at the start of the podcast, it was like, does anyone else think it's a bit warm in here?
he? Yeah.
The Miami.
It's very warm. It's like quite hot, like real hot.
It's not the Miami cold.
Right. I don't know.
Miami Heat.
Right.
Although Andy was trying to get you to say Dolphins because we went cross sport there.
And the other team.
I think I would have said Dolphins actually.
So you said the Lakers.
Are they LA or something?
Los Angeles Lakers, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you pick it up vaguely through cultural osmosis, but that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You know, people can't get. You know, it's like, oh, the Dolphins, not the greatest team since Dan Marino and stuff, but
People
almost
know that one.
everybody is.
Well, it's that thing as well, where I would be amazed if people don't know or have never heard the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
Or-
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, but I know the Dallas.
Or the New York Yankees.
I know the Dallas Cowboys through that one episode of The Simpsons.
Or the New York Yankees. Everyone knows that the New York Yankees are a baseball team.
Well,
Surely
there is an
everyone knows
episode of The Simpsons where we try to acquire the Dallas
Yeah,
Cowboys.
so Homer says that it's been his lifelong ambition to own the Dallas Cowboys.
And it's got the bit at the end where, which I don't get, but I presume is funny, where he gets a football team and he goes, "Oh, the Denver Broncos."
I think the irony being, it was back when that episode was aired, I think the Denver Broncos had just won the Super Bowl. Because I think it was like 1997. And that was the first
I
year they
assume
won
it
the
was a
Super Bowl.
funny joke, wasn't it?
But that episode was obviously clearly meant to be a, if we want to use this, we could use this as a year-long, as an every-year episode. Because it was like, this season in the Super Bowl, I really thought it to be Atlanta Falcons. Which I always thought was quite funny. It was a case of, yes, I heard that President Clinton and his wife Hillary. So, anyway, basketball shit, apparently.
I like the idea of that quiz though.
I think that's a really good idea.
We've been throwing it around for ages. Like,
Well-
say, he's done it.
I like quizzes and I like sports, so
So the original incarnation of the idea was that somebody has to say, this is my specialist subject.
yeah.
I go onto the internet and my Google search is really, 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 really freaking hard. Your specialist subject quiz. And then I ask you about Forest, the tricky trees, and I ask him about Middlesbrough, and I ask him about anime.
I like it.
So everybody has to play their specialist subject, but you could always do it as the as the Big Bang Theory one, where you flip it round and ask the other person. So I
Do
ask,
you know what you've inadvertently just described?
I ask him about
Mastermind.
Middlesbrough.
You basically just described Mastermind. But yeah, I like that. It's a
The little
case of
game, the
you
pecs.
could basically take everyone's specialist subject. So we'd have what 7, 8, something like that, and then it'd be a case of you put them all in a hat, pick out a specialist subject, and then you put the names in a hat, and you pull out a name, and it's a case of who can get the best score doing
On someone else's specialist
subject.
subject.
Love it.
I think that.
The thing is, there are some things like film I could probably do quite well on. Sport, no chance.
Yeah, but sports I could do really well on. Coding, I'd have no fucking chance.
That's a bit too specific, even by the standards of a.
Special subject.
Wouldn't it be more like tech?
Yeah,
or
I was going to
computers,
say.
like a bit higher
but
level?
Tech is so broad.
Yeah.
You could say tech would be what brand of TV does Sam have? That's a tech-based question.
I don't know.
Or I could be saying to you,
Sony.
with if you start with an if statement, what do you finish it with? And
That's a coding question.
exactly.
Fuck
So
one.
you run that, and then
If you start with an if, what do you end with?
It's something to do with it. Basically,
Bracket?
it's a lookup function which finds something you've coded into the sheet to give you an answer to the question.
But Excel code is different to VBA code. So an if you start with an if, you have an end if. Whereas Excel code is if this is this, then the answer is that.
Yeah. I only know Excel.
But even then,
VBA
coding is a
code.
very specific part of tech. For example, you could talk to me about I could talk to you about computers, but I wouldn't be able to talk to you about coding.
And honestly, no one wants to set it off.
But that, that, if you, if it's a lookup function, which finds something you've coded into the sheet to give you an answer to the question.
No one wants to set it off. And honestly, no one wants to set it off. You know, no one wants to go.
We're not setting him off.
Ed, talk about coding.
We're not setting him off. We've not said to him, Ed, can you describe the intricate details of all the guns in your fucking gun cabinet in Roscoe?
Exactly. So if you think that's what happens when you ask him about a gun, what do you think you're going to get when you ask him?
What guns have you got in that cabinet, Ed? Well, let me tell you.
So, the last thing that needs to be done is Sam's favourite bit of the whole
rating
podcast.
of the film.
And I think because it's your favourite bit, Sam, is he getting a hammer?
No, he's getting a dice. I rate it 1 out of 6. The dice has chosen.
Yeah, but you've just messed with your own system there. Because it's either out of 5 or it's out of 10, and you've just given it 1 out of 6.
Well, I don't have a 5-sided dice.
You've given it 1 Muscrofts.
I've got a 4-sided die, I've got a 6-sided die.
You have a 4-sided die?
Yeah, for when I need to know out of 4.
How does a 4-sided die
How
work?
does that even roll?
It's a tetrahedron.
When you need a D4.
4-sided die in there somewhere.
No, genuinely,
Sorry,
I can't imagine in my head how a 4-sided dice
He's sifting
looks.
through his bag of die.
I can't imagine in my head
I can't see
how
one.
that looks.
There's a 10-sided one.
Well, I get anything more than.
Oh, there we go. We could do it out of 5 using the 10-sided, just divide it by 2. Now it's got a 4 out of 5, so.
I prefer your 1 out of 6.
What's your score?
They're very much like Bad Boys. There is a time when I would have rated Baseketball a lot higher than I'm going to give it today.
I feel like genuinely, I'm being facetious, but I would genuinely give it. I think 2 would be me being very generous on the basis of nostalgia.
Yeah, I'm going to go a 2.
I'd have gone 2 as well. I feel like I can't give it a lower score, a higher score than I gave The Thing.
Well, if you work with the idea that 3 would be a solid, entertaining film,
Oh,
and we run our phones halfway
What did you give the thing?
2.
We're living in the darkest timeline.
Is it just because James is a massive fucking contrarian, though?
No, I'm pretty sure he gave it 2 as well.
Sorry, I just almost blacked out there from the hipster item that Sam just brought into the mix there. What the fuck did you say?
I called James a massive fucking contrarian.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a blackout there. Sam said something really hipster and, like...
Oh, is that a hipster?
He's an alpha hipster. He is the highest hipster on the food chain.
Just say it again, but talk like a regular human being and say regular human being words.
Contrarian.
Yeah, he's being contrary.
Like Mary Mary.
We got more.
I mean, there is another word, and it does begin with C. So it's
Maybe
what
it
you
could
do.
be. I'm going to go with cocksucker.
I'm going to go with crankshaft.
That's a great word.
You know, like you get the
Clan
acronym STFU. He goes on the internet a lot. He knows
Yeah, shut the fuck
STFU,
up.
right? There's someone in
Fuck
there's
off.
someone in the
other letters that come after the...
yeah. There's someone in the office who's got a post-it note on the top of his screen, and it's STFUC, and I'm like, wow, and it's massive as well.
Who?
Not for now. It's not for now. That's when the cameras are off and it's dark time.
What?
So, Paul, you need to save your choice.
But it wasn't my choice, was it? It was inadvertently his choice.
Don't put this on me.
And even
I lay this firm.
to be honest, Paul, if I'd watched it like I went in kind of cold and I was expecting Basketball, I remember that being kind of fun. I was surprised at how dated it was. So I think if I had to give it a rating before watching it again, I probably would have said, it's a solid 3 out of 5.
Well, I'm thinking I think it is a 3, maybe potentially a little bit higher, but I just think it's because I'm rating it based on the fact that I've seen it that many times. I've enjoyed it every time I've watched it. I just think it is a good film to put on and not have to think about it. It's a good throwaway comedy film for me.
I can see why he said that. I'm just thinking
You
about
heartily laughed throughout it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if there's something in this world that makes you laugh, that much. It can be everyone else. Everyone else's opinion can be. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. If you get that much enjoyment from something, then it doesn't matter.
It's one of those films that I put up there in my sort of like heavy rotation ones, because there's films that me and my brother have seen that many times over that we could probably quote them to each other word perfectly. So there's the two Ace Ventura films. There's Dumb and Dumber. Films like that are ones that we've seen.
He's not saying Bad Boys though.
We've seen that many times that we can just quote it to.
One of the most quotable films ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Bad Boys.
Well, I would have done, but you fucking.
Got Army of Darkness, that's super quotable.
Watched it without me, didn't you?
That is super quotable.
Army of Darkness is amazing.
Give us some sugar, baby.
So yeah, 3 out of 5 for me. Probably a 3.8 out of 5.
3.8 out of 5. So you're one of those, are you? Dog.
Fucker.
Yeah.
We're not here for the dog
yeah,
fucker.
people who don't use integers for their scoring system have been proven, besides, to have sex with dogs. So I'm saying you're a dog fucker. What? Who fucks dogs? I mean, it's okay. It's a perfectly valid lifestyle choice.
The things I choose to do with canines is none of your goddamn business.
It's the RSPCA's business, though.
Just because this happened to have me on speed dial is none of your goddamn business.
So,
right.
3.8 out of 5.
So,
I only said that to piss you off.
Baseketball has taken the lowest slot.
I'll see what I can do with my choice. Though,
I am terrified about what the choice is going to be. Because I think on a good day, it's like, I think we should watch this. And everyone's like, oh yeah, it's a great film. And on a bad day, it's going to be, I'm going to force you to watch this.
Can it at least be
something
in English?
I was just about to say, can I make a comment and a plea? Is that the film you get us to watch is not 1, in a foreign language, or 2, dubbed / subtitled.
He's not going to commit to that, is he?
I can't promise that it won't be
Oh
subtitled.
man, come on.
But you don't know, none of you speak Swedish.
Oh god.
Sounds exciting, isn't it?
Is he going to have buxom Swedish blondes in it?
oh, there's no fun in these films.
We don't come here for fun.
Also, I didn't notify sex from that. It was just Swedish blondes.
And on that note, I think we'll leave it there. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Baseketball. Is there ever a podcast where you don't knock a camera over?
This is why we've got to have 3 on tripods now.
Yeah, because we lose 2 angles in the process. Right. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. So there you go. What did you think to that? Our lowest rated movie so far. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Fingers crossed for you YouTube watchers. I managed to work out how to actually edit video rather than just throw in the files next to each other, and it might have looked reasonable. Who knows? I'll find out in a bit. For everybody involved, the audio listeners, the YouTube watchers, let's get some likes and shares and comments, and tell a friend. Why not? Everybody should jump over to thecookiecast.com, give us a social media hello, tell us what movie you would watch and what review you would give it. How about that? Yeah, so until next time and our next movie, I'm going to bid you farewell, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.